Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop. And today we're going to pass on a few secrets that I've been doing for a long time, and you figure why take them with you when you go. So to get started, I have the ultimate copper tubing bender. You can buy all these fancy ones you want. This one's even got degrees on it so you know where to stop. These are them old spring styles, and these didn't work bad. The only problem with these, if you bent them too far, you couldn't get them off the copper tubing. They were stuck on there. You had to straighten it back out to get them off. And then you had this is an old timer here. It's just an old version of this with no calibration on it. You don't need any of them. Don't waste your money. Don't buy them. This is a copper tubing I bent. This is 1/2 inch. I bent for my air compressor to go from the pump to the tank because it was making a lot of noise as it was inhaling air, and it was apparently just working too hard. The lights would flicker. Once I put this on and bent it, it helps cool the air, and it stopped all them other problems. Why? I have no idea, but it worked. I'm going to show you how I bent that with no benders. Here is a piece of 1/4 inch copper tubing I bent in a 3/4 inch diameter ID. And if you can take a good look at that, you will see no kinks at all. Here's one I bent in a 1/2 inch. Do you see any kinks in that? Can your bender, you buy one of these, can you roll it this tight with that thing? What'd you pay? 20 bucks for that? I can show you how to do this. It won't cost you a dime. These are some old, we have a machine at the shop we do induction welding with. We're a tool and die shop. We specialize in carbide tip tooling. And before I started there, this is how they made their coils. They actually cut the corners on a 45 and silver soldered them back together to get a shape like that. I make them like this, and I bend them around the form that I make. Just a piece of steel the size I want it. I knock the corners off, and I bend it around that. Here's another one they tried to bend. Look at the kink in there. That's before I started. Now I can bend them like this. No kinks. I can make as many wraps as you want. The new machine we bought has to have 3 coils. This one only has 2. This is for our old one. The new one has to have 3. I'm going to show you how to bend these with no kinks and no expensive benders. Let me grab a piece of tubing and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I got a piece of copper tubing. It's 1/4 inch. And if you'll notice on these nice tight coils I have, I got a piece of 1/2 inch steel rod I'm going to coil this around. If you notice on these, the ends are crimped, and I'll show you why. Now I've even used this on steel brake lines when I bend them for my car. Obviously you can't smash the ends shut. What you have to do is you either buy a cap to fit the 2 ends, or you buy a coupling and a plug. You have to have the ends sealed and they have to be tight. And let's show you why. Now I've got a little cup of magic powder here we're going to put inside this copper tubing. This is sandblast sand. When it gets used and the dust collector sucks it out of the cabinet, it's pretty much powderized. And you just make a little funnel around the end of the tubing with your fingers. and you pour this stuff in. And this might take a minute. Now that long piece of 1/2 inch I did for my air compressor, that was about 10 feet long. And that took a while to fill up. I did it at work, and I had to stand on the second story mezzanine where we store our paper products and let it hang down to the floor to fill it up. Now when you get this thing full, you want to tap, put your finger on the end, tap it on the floor, on a table, depends how long your rod is. You want to put some more sand in it. You want to get it full. Now once you get this full, take a hammer, you smash the end shut. Now, this is why you can't do this a brake line. You have to put a cap on the end. You get that full, and I'll show you how to coil this. Let me change the camera angle. Okay, here's a piece that has no sand in it. The ends are open, as you can see. There's nothing in it. Let's see how this works around this 1/2 inch rod. I didn't even get halfway around and it kinked. You can see that. Let's try this piece. This is a piece that's sealed with the sand in it. This is a little tough because it's such a small diameter. And that first coil didn't come out so good. But there it's coiled, and there is no kinks in that anywhere. Get it bent the way you want it. Obviously you have to make it a little long. Get this cutter on here, which is not cooperating. An old man taught me this trick a long time ago. When I first started out doing machine repair work, I went over to his place and he was coiling copper tubing around a mandrel on a lathe. I can't remember what he was making, but he was coiling the whole 50-foot roll around a 1-inch mandrel on a lathe. And I said, I gotta ask, how in the world are you doing this without kinking that? You blow all the sand out. Now you can either put a compression nut and ring on here, or you can flare it. But that is how you bend copper tubing into any shape you want without the pricey tools that are worthless. So if you have any questions, you need any help, send me an email at jimsfixitshop@gmail.com or jnrwoodworking2@gmail.com. It's the same place. In the summer, I'm a little busy outside trying to get lawn stuff done. I just poured a little over 20 yards of concrete. I brought in about 13 yards of gravel, And I have a lawn to try to do this year. Got to build a deck on the back of the house. I'm going to be a little busy, but I'm going to try to pass on some more of these tricks. And I guess they're not really tricks, they're just trade secrets. So subscribe to this channel. You're not going to want to miss any more of this stuff. So until next time, work safe and have fun.